Hello there. So welcome. Anybody joining for the first time? I'm not
Oh yeah,
sure.
my first time here. Yeah.
John, how you
Hey,
doing?
how's it going? Good man. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks, and welcome.
Thank you.
So what made you i- if you're comfortable chatting about it, what made you want to join this week?
So we just recently transitioned over to the Vendasta platform, maybe like 2.5, 3 months ago. And as we kind of further develop our business, the more knowledge I can get. I'm the sales recruiter and trainer for Mercu. The better I can help assist with my own team.
Nice. Oh, your sales for Market Goo, is that correct?
The name of the company is Mercu, and I do
Marku.
the training and recruiting.
Gotcha. Nice. And what's your experience been like so far?
It's been cool. It's a really robust and pretty user-friendly CRM. I've used God, just a bunch in the past, and this one seems really intuitive. I like it a lot.
Nice. Yeah, it's really sales focused, and I think that the most powerful thing about Vendasta is the connection between the marketplace, the CRM, all of that stuff. But
Mhm.
that's awesome. And business is going. How is business going?
Well, I mean, obviously, coming out of the holiday season, it's starting to swing back up, but it's going well now.
Awesome. Well, welcome.
Thank you,
It's
thank you.
it's great to see you. Welcome as a Vendasta partner. 2 to 3 months. Looking forward to seeing what you can do, and hopefully you join us again next week. We have
Yeah, yeah,
these every
absolutely.
We have these every week. We do them live, and we also share the recordings in the community, so you can always catch up on any of the last 40 that we've done. So
Cool. Right on. Thank you.
perfect. Well, thanks, John. Kelsey Popowich, how are you doing?
Hey, doing good. How are you?
Nice. I'm good, thanks. Hey, I really liked your post on LinkedIn the other day
About the blog? Is that one?
about the blog. Yeah, what was that post about? I really liked it though.
What was it about? Just about, yeah, blogs being like useful for businesses. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
you had a
I think I took it from one of those one of the sales slide decks that you guys offer. It was content out of there. Did you recognize it? Is that why?
No, I mean, there's so much content that's always being created around here, and I love how you went through some of the content that we have and then repurposed it in a blog post. But I
Yeah.
really liked it because I think content, that's kind of what we're focusing on, in Q1 here. Be seen, be heard, transact now. But I specifically liked the data that you had in there. So it's good. It's good to see. I think it was something like 50% or businesses who use blog posts get noticed more, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. Also just wanted to say hi because Kelsey was part of our very first community session way back in March last year. So
Yeah. It has. Pretty great. I love
and you're one of the winners of our sales contest too.
them. Yeah, that was a nice prize.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good to see you.
Yes, you as well.
Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. Um, this week is going to be super awesome. Really excited for who we have presenting here because I know a lot of partners, they look at our success team as a support team, supporting with all these bugs and all these issues, but our support team is actually our success team. We wanted to help you folks, help our partners and help your clients be successful. And so we wanted to spend this week talking a little bit about, communication along that same line of communication, but some of the best ways to communicate with our success team so that we can help resolve issues faster. Sometimes it can be a challenge, if you just get an email saying, yeah, hey, this isn't working. Okay, I get it. I want to help, but how is it not working? What isn't working? Can we get some more information so that we can really get to the root of the problem? On the surface, oftentimes a lot of these issues, it can feel so normal, like it's just this one thing that's happening, but in the background, there can be a lot of moving parts. There can be a lot of endpoints. There could be a lot of places that data lives, that a lot of things that need to happen in the background to just show that number. And so sometimes our team needs to do a pretty in-depth investigation and troubleshoot to really get there. So that's what we're going to be talking about this week. And before we get to our presenters, I just wanted to review a few things in the community. And for the folks who are joining, we do record these sessions, and then we post the recordings in the community afterwards. And I just want to show everybody where you can find those. So I'm going to share my screen here. As I'm in the community, you can go into the community sessions. This is the way that I get to it. And then you'll see all of the previous community sessions. And we do have several pages, so you can click back to a few pages. What's a really good one? We were talking about blog posts. So you want to, if you want to see what we chatted about with content creation blog posts, you can click right in. If you want to learn a little bit more about how our Vendasta team does it, if you're working with our Vendasta team, you can check out the recording right there. One other thing that I wanted to mention is we have the Head Start promotion happening all quarter. So one thing that we've learned last year is, we really need to make an effort to do these three things: be heard, be seen, and transact now. And so, big shout out to Michael Watkins, our VP of Success, and Marketplace team, and all of our vendors who are participating in this promotion. But there's some great prizes that you can earn, through these activations and helping your local businesses. And here are the specific vendors who are participating. So you can click on here. It'll take you right into the card in the marketplace, and you can learn more and reach out to these vendors directly to chat about it. We did create also a group here in the community for Head Start 2021. We've seen some really good conversations happening. So if you get in here and then you go into discussions, you'll see a thread with each vendor. So check that out. See what other partners are asking. If you have a question, hop right into the thread and ask that question, and the vendors will help address it. And a lot of them they'll help you sell this. They'll help you help your local businesses. So that's one of the last things. And before we get started, if everybody could find that chat feature in Zoom here, and maybe just post where you're calling in from, and if you've reached out to any of the vendors of Head Start 2021. So if you've reached out and you've started to develop strategies, pop in, where you're calling in from and a yes. If you haven't reached out or weren't aware of the Head Start promotion, maybe put no. I'd be curious to see how many people have been strategizing around Head Start, and if there's anything that we can do there. Perfect. And as always, these community sessions, we started back in March as a positive space for all of us to get together to talk about challenges in the marketplace. We have a little bit of a presentation each week so that we can constantly be learning and improving our business processes, and communication specifically is what we're focused on. And so we encourage partners to interact, post in the chat, ask your questions. If you feel like you would really get along with another partner, reach out directly. Start to form those relationships. Vendasta, we want to help you be successful, but we've always also seen a lot of great success with partners interacting directly and supporting each other, even on opportunities. So we encourage everyone to be doing that. And all right, that's it for me. I feel like I've talked for long enough. My name's Andrew Carson. I'm a team lead with our growth team here at Vendasta. It's a pleasure to be able to engage with you and do this every week. And I want to introduce our presenters today. So I'm just going to keep it at that. Naresh and Kayla, you guys have something prepared for us. I'll pass it over to you, if you wouldn't mind starting with an introduction of yourselves, your experience here at Vendasta, or I know you guys have a great presentation. You know, I'll let you take it away. So go ahead, Naresh and Kayla.
Thanks, Andrew. Can you guys see my screen?
We can see it there.
Beautiful. All right. Well, I wanted to start off just by thanking you, Andrew, for extending this chance to sit down with everybody and talk to you guys about our team and how we operate behind those tickets. So welcome to the Success on Demand Community Takeover. So just a little bit about myself. I'm Naresh, Director of Partner Success here at Vendasta. I've been at Vendasta for about 6 years now. I worked in a few different roles. I actually started out on our marketing services team, which was then a small team of 10. So I think we're like 6 times that size now, which is making me feel a bit old. Anyways, I then moved into more of an account management role on the success team. And then I transitioned into the support side of our organization. And now I help oversee and improve operations on that team. I'll throw it over to Kayla too to give a little background on herself.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Kayla Zieske, and I'm the Premium Support Manager. I started with Vendasta probably over 4 years ago now. And when I started with the Partner Success Department, and that's kind of been where I've been ever since, but within different capacities. Right now with Premium Support, looking after operations with a whole bunch of tickets, really focusing on bugs and improvements there.
Thanks, Kayla. So just to give you guys a quick rundown of what we wanted to share with you today. So we're going to start with a little bit of a background on our team, our mission, how you can connect with us, just some of those basics. Then we'll cover submitting a request, the types of things we need to help you get answers faster. We're going to give you a behind the scenes peek as to what happens when you actually submit a request and what happens when you report a bug. It's quite a process, so we'll share tips for you along the way. And then lastly, we're just going to finish off with some best practices, a little recap on how you can get your requests solved faster. So this is kind of interesting. It's an old graphic from the original Success team. So this is actually from way back when we were all account managers. That's what Success was. So we kind of did everything. We did onboarding, we did technical support, we did account management. So now the Success team is actually kind of branched off, and it encompasses a wide range of specializations under the Success umbrella. So we've actually got a specialized onboarding team now, got a specialized support team, and of course we've got the account management team, or growth team as we like to call them. So, you know, while the function of the Success support team has changed a little bit, our mission still remains the same. Realistically, we're here to help you make more money. So our mission as a team is to deliver outstanding omni-channel customer service and support that's fast, friendly, and accurate. So that's what we're striving towards. So if we can help remove any roadblocks, provide guidance, connect you with experts you need, that's really, really our goal. So here is the team and all of their friendly faces. Some of them hopefully are familiar to you, and they're in no particular order here. But these are the stars of our 24/7 support team. Includes technical support, includes web specialists, includes our premium support team. You know, we're growing really rapidly, and we expect to continue to grow the team this year. And building this slide really made me realize like how massive our team of helpers is. And soon they're probably not going to fit on a slide. So I'm looking forward to that. So just back to the basics, what can the Success team really help you with? So to be honest, like we're going to try and help you with anything. Even if it may be a little bit outside of our wheelhouse, we're going to do our best to connect you with the right resource to solve your problem or your request. So we're really like the traffic controllers here at Vendasta. Common requests, though, are going to include things like training and navigation, those how-to type questions, where to find specific resources for our platform and products, billing inquiries, we get a lot of those, strategy and best practices around using the platform, and we also help support marketplace products and escalate when needed. So really, we're the team you talk to as well when you come across a bug. I'm sure you're familiar with that. So just to go over a little bit of how to connect with support. So we hope that it's been super easy for you to connect with our team. We're actually looking at making some improvements to this year, so stay tuned for that. But right now, there's a couple of ways you can go about it. So there's that big help button in Partner Center. That's probably the easiest way and what you're familiar with. So if you click on that, you'll find our phone number. You can fire up a live chat. You can submit a ticket, or you can visit our resource center. You can also submit tickets from within our resource center. So there's a big button in there to do that. You can also email our team at support@vendasta.com. So pretty straightforward. When you submit a request, there's some basic stuff that our team is going to be looking for, just depending on what your request is. So your question and what you want to achieve is always going to be helpful to just put things in perspective for our team. But if you can also include where in the platform the request is related to, that's also really helpful. But if you forget, no worries, we're going to figure it out. There's just a lot of elements in our platform that exist in multiple places. So just for example, if you've got a question about listings, we've got the listing builder app, we've got listings in reputation management, we've got listings in multi-location business app, we've got listings in the executive report. So it's helpful if you can drop us a little hint in your request where exactly that request is related to. Now, if you're reporting an issue to us, it's always helpful to know, the account where you discovered or observed that issue, and if a specific user was affected. And we love screenshots and videos because that just makes it super easy to get all of those things in one. So what happens after you actually submit a ticket? So first thing is a ticket is created in our ticketing system. So we use enterprise software called Zendesk. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with that. A member of our team is actually assigned to monitor everything that's incoming to our ticket queue. So your ticket will actually be reviewed by this agent. We call them like a triage agent, who is going to actually try and solve your request on the spot if they can. That said, if the request requires a little bit more investigation, or maybe be best served by a different team, we're actually going to triage your ticket to an appropriate queue. And this is when you'll receive a ticket number. Just kind of that first response. Your ticket will then be picked up by an agent working out of the queue that it's been assigned to. And that agent is going to consult experts, resources, anything they need to get the information and resolve your request. So we'll provide updates along the way. Those will all be sent in the same ticket thread where you've received your ticket number until that ticket can be resolved. So we'll keep you up to date there. Something that I wanted to point out that we may not use every day, but there is a centralized spot to view all of your tickets. So if you've opened up a few with us, I know it's easy to lose them in your email inbox, and we get a ton of emails all the day, so it can get buried. So if you're ever wondering an update or you lost an update, you can always log in here. And there's actually a spot in the help button in the in Partner Center where you can select ticket history. That'll take you here. But also if you're cruising around in the resource center at support.vendasta.com, you can click the little drop-down arrow next to your name and select My Activities. That's going to bring you to this little dashboard here where you can see all of your requests in one, anything you're CC'd on. And if you've got multiple team members who have submitted tickets, you can also see those as well because they're all associated to your partner in our system. So it's a super nice way to view them all and really handy. All right, so now we'll move into more of the behind the scenes peek of what happens when you submit a bug to Vendasta. And please note, A Bug's Life is copyright Disney Pixar Studios. It's no way affiliated with Vendasta. Please don't call up Disney and get us in trouble. We just thought this would make it a little bit more fun. All right, we'll kick it off with what is a bug? So, when it comes to tech, bugs aren't really cute and fun. They don't have big shiny eyes. Instead, they are to do with errors in the software or system that produce an incorrect or unexpected result or cause it to behave in an unintended way. So why does this happen? So research and development teams, or R&D as we like to call them, we release a lot of shiny new stuff every week. And sometimes we're improving old code. Sometimes, we're releasing a brand new feature. Sometimes we're trying to improve the speed and stability. So last year, we actually released 14,000 new releases of code across our 16 development teams at Vendasta. So it's pretty crazy to think about. It's a lot of changes happening. So since the platform is so robust, and we've got a ton of different code bases that are working together and being used behind the scenes, many parts of our platform actually interact with each other. So what can happen is when we release a new piece of code, it doesn't jive with the old code or other parts of the platform, and that's what causes that bug. So Vendasta isn't alone in this. Lots of every software out there is going to experience bugs, including our own app and service vendors in the marketplace. So it is a regular thing in the tech world. Our teams do their best, though, to try and test these releases before they're rolled out. But of course, unexpected issues can slip through the cracks, or maybe something wasn't considered on how those two pieces interact with each other. So what happens after you find a bug and you report it to our team? I'm going to actually hand it over to Kayla to walk us through how the bug flows behind the scenes at Vendasta. So Kayla, I'll let you take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Naresh. So we're going to go through a little bit of a journey here. Essentially, it all starts with the discovery of what's going on in the system. And that usually is a simple report. You're trying to do something and it's not doing what it should. So we're going to, that's the wrong clicker there. We're going to jump right on into, getting that bug into the support channel. So with the reporting, am I on the right screen there, Naresh? Sorry. We're trying to share. There we go. Oh no, now I went too far. So when reporting, you can report it in a multitude of different ways. So it's going to come in via Slack, live chat, a person, whatever the case may be. Maybe not in person. Maybe if you're coming in hanging out in the office, we can definitely take that in. But really what happens at that point is every single interaction, we're going to be creating a ticket and assigning an ID to it. And this is going to be key to making sure that we can follow it all the way through and create a history of what's going on. So once that ticket has been created, it's now in the responsibility of the support team to address, assess, and make sure that we are going to get it to the right place that it needs to go to get resolved. Okay, we got a little bit of a delay. That's what's going on here. I'll fill the gaps as I'm clicking next time here. So jumping in, once we have that report, we're going to kind of launch a little bit of a recon to either provide troubleshooting or replicate the issue. The most important thing that we can do is follow along the same pathway and ensure that we're seeing exactly what you're seeing. This will ensure that we're able to correctly log what's going on and escalate moving forward, which we'll touch on. So there are definitely scenarios where we can't actually replicate what's going on. A lot of that is caused to local network. Potentially, it's something within the environment, within your computer, the browser, or potentially what you're using to go through. But with that, we do have a lot of troubleshooting steps that we're going to start working with you to help resolve that piece. So with that guidance, some key tips that I would definitely try, if you are having a page that isn't loading, or it is loading on your phone but not on your computer, or some of those pieces, we are more than likely going to ask you to try launching the browser in an incognito window and seeing if you're still experiencing the issue there. That can help filter out, if it is maybe an ad blocker or something along those lines that can be causing a little bit of issues for you. So, trying different browsers, trying incognito, and then potentially going into clearing cache and cookies can help resolve a variety of problems. With being partners and with being very, very busy, you may have multiple partner center tabs open going into different areas of the platform. And there is a risk of maybe having like session transfer issues and things like that going on that can be simply troubleshot by, clearing that cache and moving on. But of course, when you are reporting those to us, we're going to help guide you through and make sure that we can get you to the right place and resolve that issue. So let's say we're going through and we're troubleshooting and all of a sudden, no, you know what? that really, looks like we need to get some additional support with it. So we're looking through, and if we are able to replicate and see exactly what's going on, we're going to start doing the process to report it to our research and development team. So our R&D team is all of the different teams that work on all the products and build them. So once that happens, and we are going to be issuing it to the R&D team as what we call a JIRA. It's a task for the development. It's now going to be moving into their queues to further review and resolve. And we, as our job, we're going to be making sure that we're going to be watching that process the entire time as it moves along. So, sorry, just hiding that up there. It's hiding half my slide. So important things with this is as we are moving through that escalation process, and just as a side tip, if the issue that's occurring is stopping you or your client from doing something that's super important, definitely let us know. That's going to help us assess and then address a scope moving forward to ensure that we're going to get it to the right place. So as an example with this, we need to take this statement. I'm trying to activate products for my client, but it won't let me proceed to the next step, and translate it into a very detailed technical report for our development team to see exactly where the code is breaking in the system. So a statement like that, you're unable to activate a product, that product and that activation workflow can be one of several that we have in our system. Is it trying to create an order in Sales and Success Center? Is it trying to activate an order in Partner Center? Is it going through the accounts page and directly going and activating the specific product there? So there's a multitude of different places that things can happen. And that's why it's very, very important to get all that information in the very beginning, so we can log a specific report to the team so they can jump on it faster without coming back with more questions. There we go. So I wanted to kind of detail out. So we do have like a severity and prioritization workflow with our development teams. And this is how we kind of classify the bugs to tell them, when it needs to get done. Now, don't get me wrong. Any bug that you're experiencing is extremely important to me and to the team, and we want to make sure that it gets resolved as quickly as possible. However, when you have a whole bunch of development teams within an organization, they have features that they're working on, they have different bugs coming in, and it's all about how we can prioritize what really needs to get done absolutely immediately versus we're going to get it done as quickly as possible. So of course, the most severe piece is a blocker bug. And that really means everybody drop everything. We have all the teams coming together and working together to really get things back on track. And this may be due to a platform outage or, severe issues where you cannot get to a certain piece of the platform. Maybe there's no accounts loading or something along those lines. Those teams jump in right away and help to isolate what's going on or potentially escalate to different parties that we work with to help get that resolved. So those ones, that is, we want to get that resolved within minutes, more so before you even see that it happens. We want to make sure that it's out of the way and not affecting you. The next level down is a critical bug. And a critical bug is really basically impacting something that is super, super important, and there's no workaround to get to it. So an example of a critical bug might be, if you're in Partner Center and the accounts aren't loading in that specific center, but they're loading in Sales and Success Center and your clients can still access Business app with no problem. Super critical. It's, not necessarily all the hands on deck, but we do have a bigger group come in to help resolve that. And we want to make sure that those ones are, resolved within a, hour or so time frame as well. So really making sure that we're able to jump in and prioritize that. Major bugs. So a major functionality or data loss, data, not loss, but inability to access that data. There might be a workaround available, and it's still very much an issue, but we can get you something right away to help get you on the right track so you can at least get to what you need to do while we're starting to solve that inconvenience for you. So the major bugs there, it's going to be when they come in and we assess it and we see that as we're going through the escalation process, we're going to make sure that we're going to provide back to you within a ticket or a response, hey, this is what you can do in the meantime. And as we're working with the development team to provide you that update on when it's actually going to be completely resolved. So we'll make sure that we have a way to get around that for you. Going into a minor classification. So this one, we do have a workaround and it is getting prioritized. So that's definitely in the pipe and happening. And those ones, kind of an example of a minor would be sorry, I'm halfway over here. So a minor would be like in the business profile, as an example, we have a little map pin that might be moving slightly. So it is definitely an issue. We do definitely want to get to fix it, but it's not affecting any actual data with your listing services. It's more of just a definite inconvenience that we want to get through. Trivial pieces. Now, definitely we want to make sure that we're getting those. We want to make sure that we are resolving those. And it's going to be a scenario of we need to make sure that all of those blockers, the criticals, the majors, the minors are all complete before we can jump into the trivial pieces. And an example of a trivial would be maybe you're in social marketing and you're creating a social post and one or two of the emojis isn't rendering properly when you're starting to schedule those posts, but when they're posted, they're perfect on the platforms. So something like that. It's more of an inconvenience and nothing that we want kicking around for too long, but it's not actually going to be affecting the end result for your clients. And we also get a variety of feedbacks. So, different workflows that would make it better. It would be great if I could, update tags from the update accounts workflow and things like that. Those we are definitely logging, and then we provide them to our product managers in order to prioritize future development for it. So, with the escalation, it's really important when we're addressing that ticket for the first time, we have as much details as possible. We're able to replicate, we're able to gauge the full scope. That helps us assign the priority, and then that gets the process started with our development teams. So moving into updates, as the development team is working on the issue, or potentially it could be a vendor relation that we're linking up with as well, we're going to be sure to keep an eye on those JIRA tickets and provide you with an update as soon as we have more information from the team that's handling it. And that could be even as simple as providing you with a estimated time of when they're going to start working on it in a sprint, as well as if they have any additional workarounds or information to share, we're going to be providing that back on the original ticket that it was reported on. When it comes to updates, if you're looking for updates on any of your tickets, best practice for that would be to find the ticket that the issue is logged on and respond back to that ticket with a request. And that will then trigger our team to go in, relook at. Sometimes we might need to re-escalate and make sure that the scope maybe has expanded since when it was first reported, et cetera. That can make sure that our team gets it to the right place very, very quickly. And as Naresh was showing in the beginning, the best way to keep track of those tickets is through that support.vendasta.com, our resource center, and looking at your activities there. It's a really easy way to keep track because let's face it, you're so busy. You probably have a million communications coming in each day. Finding a specific ticket email can be kind of cumbersome that way. And you can respond directly from the resource center as well without having to go back into your email and find that specific ticket. So leading us over into the resolution side. So once we get the good word from our R&D teams that something has been resolved, we're going to take that information and we're going to go back to the original report and replication steps and go through within your environment to confirm that it has been resolved for you. Now, there are some things that we can't go through on our side, specifically if it is a local issue that we had a piece being worked on. And so we may ask for your assistance just to confirm that that has been resolved. But that's really the workflow that we want to put forward with it, making sure that we're testing it before it goes back to you and we update it on the ticket, letting you know what's occurred with that specific instance and that it has been resolved. If for some reason you found that there is a specific piece left over, or hey, it was great for a day and all of a sudden it's kind of doing the same thing again, best scenario, go back into that ticket and reopen it. Of course, you can always submit a new ticket. That's not a problem. But if we have it all in the same thread, it helps things go a lot faster. So speaking of faster, getting your requests resolved faster. So how to help us help you with it. As Andrew was talking about in the beginning, he kind of alluded to, just a simple statement, or even in our turning this into this piece just a little bit before, we really need to know a lot of different information in order to properly identify and isolate what you're seeing, because there's so many different pathways to get to different things. It could be a different code base for any one of those pathways. So as a suggestion, and I'm not saying you need to necessarily go in and completely, create a bug report or anything like that at all. Whatever you have the time to do is going to help us without having to reach back out to ask for an additional question if we need clarification with it. So anytime, if it's something happening with an account, list that account name that you're currently working with and what's going on. If you're familiar with the aged, definitely include that if it's part of it. A good, easy way to get a lot of information without necessarily having to log specific things, copy and paste that page URL that you're currently sitting on where you're seeing the issue happen. That has a lot of information with us. It tells us exactly where it lives in the platform, what accounts it's associated to, and what the action is that you're currently doing. Any steps. So if it is a problem with activating products and it always happens here but not here, really important information, provide whatever you can with that, and that'll help us get to it a lot quicker as well. So kind of compiling all that information, and I know it is definitely a lot's going on all the time, so yeah, feel free to just pop open maybe Loom and record what you're going through. We can see everything from there, and then we can start to log down all those specifics for you. Also, if you've completed any troubleshooting steps, please link those in there so you're not going to get that same troubleshooting back when you've already completed, maybe potentially clearing the cache of that browser. Oh, there we go. Yay. So this is an example of something where we still will get to the bottom of it and we will resolve it, but it might take a little bit more time in order to get to the root of the issue. And depending on how responsive, potentially we might not know what the real issue is for days if we're going back and forth with email, etc. So it's just something to keep in mind with that. The more information, the absolute better, and we can get that started. So with that, we have those several channels to get your requests resolved faster. Really, whatever you want to do, any channel is there for you to utilize and get a response on. They're all monitored, but kind of going through phone calls, they're really good for urgent matters. That's the top channel that we are answering first. So we can always initiate and start a ticket with a phone call, and then make sure that we can follow up potentially via email or request screen share, whatever's going to work better for you as you're going through. Live chat is kind of the next piece. So that's our second most instantly monitored channel, and it's a great place to go if you're wanting to ask a quick question or maybe you're multitasking. So definitely, if you haven't tried live chat, you can definitely do that too. And email tickets, so whether you're going directly through the resource center to log or sending it in via email, it's great for logging complex issues with detailed examples. And of course, those ones, they come in, we're going to look at them, assess the issue, make sure that they get to the correct team, and then that's when the investigation starts there. And at any point in time, if you're ever wanting a phone call or if you're ever wanting to jump on a screen share, definitely just let us know. And then we'll also ask those requests as well as we go through if we want to get more information and make sure that we can gather it all specifically for you. So with that, this gift gets me every time. I think we've used it in several presentations. Let's squash the bugs together. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And with that, that's Kayla, that's me, and Naresh. Any questions, any feedback that we can dive into?
Stomp those bugs, says Alicia.
Stomp them.
Kayla, I have a question.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Robert. It seems that you guys have really taken a lot of time, put a lot of thought into, fleshing out, this whole process. Are you going to have a similar standard for the third-party vendors when there's an issue on their dashboards? If there's a bug that we encounter, how do we get a ticket to them?
I'm gonna pass it on over to Naresh here. This is what he's been working on.
I'll be honest with you, Robert. It's something that we are reviewing right now because it is a challenge. So currently, it's kind of hard to determine if it is a bug with Vendasta's connection to that app or service, or is it a bug with that vendor? So if it's a problem with our connection, definitely report it to us. We'll take it from there. If it's a problem with the vendor's app, we'll want to use their support channel to try and resolve that. And there's been some cases where maybe we're not getting responses as quickly as we need. Those are the types of things that you send back to us, and we'll escalate it through our marketplace as well. You can always come to us to report that stuff too. It just might cause a little bit of a delay along the line. But like I said, we're working with the marketplace team right now to get a better workflow in place for that. So please stay tuned, but we're on it.
Got it. Thank you.
If you guys can notice, Naresh and Kayla looking one way or the other, it's because they're sitting right next to each other. And if you're lucky enough.
All right, well, if no one's got another question, I've got one more then.
Yeah, let's go.
So Andrew, this one will make you laugh, I'm sure. So I had to learn the hard way because first of all, I hated filling out tickets, email tickets. So I would always call. If I had bugs, something, I'm always calling. Andrew had to slowly train me. Submit the ticket, Robert. It's better that way. Submit the ticket, Robert. It's better that way. So I finally learned to do that. But my question is more about, and I've used this term, how do you guys really determine the difference between a feature request and what I would like to call a developmental oversight? Where something that, should have been there or, thought about in the process before a particular platform has been launched, versus, me saying, well, I would really love to be able to, and I'll use an example, and let's say customer voice. I'd really like to be able to see the engagement with SMS texts in customer voice, but all I see is, what was sent out. And I don't know if that's something that is, me specifically saying I want that for my agency, or is that something that would be a great benefit to everyone and it should have been there in the beginning?
100%. I know exactly what you're talking about there. And a lot of the times when we're doing development, we do it in slices. So to make sure that we launch the features and put them out there, it'll be first slice. And then potentially to expand on maybe the reporting and the functions and features, then it would be second slice, third slice, etc. What you're describing there, Robert, isn't something specifically for your agency. That definitely is something for everybody. But that even is in itself, it would be technically a feature request. And it wouldn't be categorized any different whether it was a specific feature request for you or something for everybody. When we submit those to our our product managers, they go through and they assess as well, is this specifically only for one use case scenario, or can it be adapted for everybody? And those adaptions for everybody usually do get written in and then started to get roadmapped moving forward to do those improvements. So I love feedback requests, and there are definitely pieces where you're like, oh man, if that did that, that would be amazing. Please keep those coming in. It's a really, really important part of how we are evolving our software, and definitely something that we take into consideration for sure.
Got it. Thank you.
Just to kind of add to that, and not to give you the same answer as the last question, but we are working on making that better too. So we're undergoing a little bit of some restructuring on our team to better get the feedback that comes through support over to engineering managers who can actually action it and take a look at it in the backlog and determine, okay, we're getting a lot of requests with this, or users are getting stuck on this piece trying to do this thing. So that's something that's in the pipe too. So I'm hoping you'll see some improvement very soon.
And Robert, I wanted to say thanks for the question and also the comment. You know, I remember working with you and we were talking about, you know, the phone calls and the emails. And one thing that you know, Kayla reviewed is with that different type of communication, you know, with that email communication, there's that thread and there's that history. And even if something starts working again and stops working, you know, there's that history that our team can go back to right away. So, you know, it makes me think about, you know, the right communication channel for the right type of issue potentially, you know, and also being, you know, keeping that in mind to be a good neighbor to your other partners as well, you know. So for those quick ones, you know, something that I'm thinking about right now is for those quick ones, quick questions, you know, you can make a phone call. But if it's something that you need to see, and maybe it's something that would be even better that you walk through, maybe the live chat where we can do a screen share with our success team would be great. And then if you're phoning in too, you know, one thing that I think our team would ask is that, you know, we respect the time of our success team members, because there are going to be other calls that are coming in. So if you call in for an issue, you know, it's great to chat and we love to get to know our partners, but there are always other calls coming in. And so if you call in, you know, just like Kayla said, you know, if you have some of that information available, account name, workflow that you got there, kind of what's going on, you know, call in, let our team know, we can create a ticket and start working on it. But there's always calls coming in and our team truly wants to help as many partners as possible. So I just kind of wanted to note that. So, you know, think about the channel of communication and the value of having detailed information in an email thread or in a chat thread that teams, because it's not just our success team, but it's also our development teams, can refer back to as we try to assist you folks.
Absolutely. Is there any way to provide feedback to the individual reps, such as like just recognition, someone that's really, you know, gone above and beyond, taken ownership of a particular case, you know, followed up with me via email? How do I get their name, you know, in the Friday afternoon, you know, meetings that you guys have? How do I do that?
Yeah,
I love that question.
Yeah, I appreciate it too, Robert. So we try to do recognition on Fridays, like you said. So if you leave them a review, either on the ticket or on the chat, we always review those. But if you kind of want to take it one step further, I would say email Kayla or myself with your review, or throw it on one of Vendasta's social media pages, like a Facebook review or a Google review. That'll definitely get them the wider recognition within the company.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
I see Thomas McMillan, you're smirking. What did you do, Thomas, when you had a good experience?
I made a video.
You made a Fired Up Friday video. Where was that video?
Yeah, that was last week.
Last week, Thomas does these Fired Up Fridays on LinkedIn, and last week he gave a big shout out to one of our team members, Katie Sommers. So, you know, that type of recognition is awesome too. Really appreciate that, Thomas, and you know, we appreciate the feedback, good or bad, so that we can improve, because we truly want to make the experience better for everybody. Any other questions or thoughts from the team, or, you know, from the team here? Yeah, the team. We're a team. I have a question for everybody. Maybe go ahead, Kathy.
I am completely outside of this entire realm of this discussion question. Doesn't have anything to do with anything we just talked about. Is that okay?
Let's do it.
Okay. So I have a potential client and they are in need of an e-commerce site. I'd say a high-end luxury tile, floor tiling.
Mhm.
They work with QuickBooks and they're looking for an inventory management system. I mean, I'm presenting the world to them probably in 2 weeks. So I was wondering if any of our partners worked with to create a solid e-commerce site, but also anybody that had any handle on specifically an inventory management software system.
Is everything like, do they have everything within their own warehouse or is it somewhere else?
No, Alyssa, they actually have an on-site warehouse, all the SKUs through their QuickBooks system. So to the degree that everything is centrally located, it's all right there.
I worked with some, it wasn't, tile, but I built a couple. Let me try to find the inventory management system that we did. Could you drop your email on the chat? And it's Alicia. I will be on these more so everyone will see me. Hi, I'm Alicia.
Totally screwed up your name because I'm
No,
half
it's
blind.
okay. It's okay. I get Alicia Shia was the worst one that I got. So you did a pretty good job. So
I will never make that mistake again, I promise.
It's okay.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks for the question, Kathy. And thanks for reaching out, Alicia. Hey, while we have you, Alicia, is this your first community session?
I joined last week, but yeah, this is like my first one where I'm really able to pay attention. I signed up as a partner last year, but was a little bit busy when I signed up and hadn't really been able to participate. So I'm trying to get things up and running, specifically targeting optometrists is my new goal, multi-location, because I have done a lot in that space. So I want to leverage the presence that I have there.
Nice. Yeah, I love those multi-location opportunities. I think they're fantastic. If you haven't checked out the multi-location mini series that we did, we'll be sure to get you the links to those sessions. I think that one was really good. But thanks for saying hi, Alicia.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. I saw Kurt, you unmuted for a moment there to Kathy's question. Did you have any additional insight or information for Kathy?
Yeah, over the last couple of years, I've done a lot of back and forth with ERP systems. And if anybody's ever heard of Odoo, it's kind of one of the up and coming SMB ERP solutions on the planet. Probably not here in the US as much, but it's a fantastic solution. It does take some implementation and development, but check it out. It's ODOO. Very, very great solution and very inexpensive considering,
what is ERP?
Enterprise Resource Planning. So it's a set of solutions. It's like SAP in the huge enterprise world.
Okay.
Odoo set out to fix ERP in the SMB, mostly the mid-sized market.
Got it. All right, I'll circle back with you on that, Kurt. Thanks.
Yeah.
Nice. Anybody else have some opportunities that they might want to discuss?
All right, I got to say something again. Sorry, I'm just going to grab it out there.
Yeah, go ahead.
If anybody isn't using Alpha SEO, their immediate initial diagnostic reporting is super duper duper duper. It really gives the partner such a leg up when you're looking to introduce the services. And it's such a wide and varied package. I was talking to the guys this morning about it. It really, for the non-technical me, because I'm more on the people side, it's just an amazing package. And I just think that everybody needs to know about that. It's easy to get a proposal and it doesn't cost anything to get that initial proposal. So, go use these platform tools. They're really amazing.
That's awesome. And you're referring to the proposal form.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yep.
I'm going to share my screen so that we can show everybody where that lives. So I'm using our test area here. So it might look a little bit different than what you're familiar with. Let's have a look. Alpha SEO. There we go. So if we go into the product card here, you'll see some speaking to that Head Start 2021. So they are participating. So check out their offering. And is this what you're referring to, Kathy, the SEO proposal request form? So if we click on it, yeah, and it's really simple to fill out, isn't it?
Well, what I was also advised too, and I did this with Keegan last night, is you fill out everything as to the best of your ability. You don't have to add a budget, because really the whole point is they'll take the data, massage everything and put together this fabulous, it's like a 7-page report, but it gives the prospect so much more to digest other than just a 1-page proposal. It's giving them information. It's pointing out the pluses and the minuses. So it's almost like it was the diagnostic report, the snapshot report on steroids.
And I think they work well together.
Completely.
Yeah.
So if you have Janice's 5-point checklist, you have the listing data, you have the snapshot report, and then you come out with this, it's almost a 80% chance that you're going to win that business based on just the knowledge that you've shared.
I love that. And then you can even reach out to your Vendasta rep for a search estimate, because SEO plus SEM is a fantastic strategy. Really, they work really well together. And one thing that I want to note is, any opportunity, do this. Any opportunity, get an SEO proposal. Reach out to your Vendasta rep to see what those resources are. And one comment that I want to make is, even if let's say you're proposing the package or solution and SEO isn't a part of it now, what I always ask my partners is, what's your upsell? At that 3 months, because we know from the Vendasta churn study, the data that we saw is that whenever partners had that upsell within the first 3 months, the retention and the revenue was much greater. So even if you have the information, you present it, and the business decides to go with maybe the package that doesn't include the SEO, that's okay, but they're aware of it. They know that, this would be the next logical step. Now you've created a little bit of pull strategy for your business, rather than constantly, that push strategy of, hey, we should be doing this. They're already aware, and then that could be the upsell path. Love it, Kathy. Awesome. So we're close to time, but I wanted to ask the group, maybe we can do this in the chat so that everybody can provide a reply. What is your preferred method to connect with our success team? Is it phone call? Is it live chat? Is it email? Is it, you can go through the platform and you can submit a ticket. There's like a form that you can go through, or is it just emailing into partnersuccess@vendasta.com? Live chat, phone, platform, call. Does anybody want to provide a little bit of context? Maybe unmute yourself and then provide some context as to why you like the live chat versus call versus email or going through the platform. I'd love to get a little bit of insight from the team here before we log off.
Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Janine, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I like the live chat because it doesn't take too much time and I can multitask as my questions come in. And most of the time I get my answer from the live chat. And if they can't help me, then I'm directed to a phone call, or they'll email me. They'll say, okay, I'll get back with you, and they'll email me. And then if I'm not satisfied with the answer I get from the email, then I'll call in. So I think the call is my third attempt to fix whatever. But most of the time I get it fixed within the live chat.
That's awesome. I really appreciate that. And that whole multitasking aspect, yeah, that's pretty valuable, hey?
Yeah.
Anybody else want to provide some context or feedback on connecting with success, or your preferred way to connect with success?
Yeah, I found that using, oh, sorry, go ahead, Stephen.
No, I was just going to say I love using the live chat because I I can do other things, and I can also just like add all the attachments and what have you at the same time. There's no big issue, and being in another time zone kind of. I'm always being over in Scotland. I'm always first in the queue when it comes to live chat.
Stephen, I was thinking about you whenever we did the 24/7 release last week. So that's awesome. John, I would love to hear your comments and your feedback here.
Yeah, I mean, I'd kind of mirror the same thing. It's so much easier because I mean, if I'm on the phone, I'm not able to share like screenshots and like point out exactly what I'm looking at, where the bug might be or what issue I'm having. So being able to do it over a live chat, it's like having the best of both worlds, a phone call and an email in one. So that's definitely my preferred way.
Nice, awesome.
So I love using Hangouts or I love using Google Meet with your team. And now I'm more and more now I'm going to start using Loom because it saves me from having to repeat the whole process again. It's got that video history there. And that's the way I'm going to move forward with it.
That's absolutely awesome. I love to hear all the preferred methods. And I did want to also extend out, if anybody does want to have a call or a chat, talking to me and Naresh about any type of feedback that you have, all game for that. We would be more than happy to connect with absolutely anybody moving forward, whether it's kudos to the team, whether it's potential improvements. We're here to hear it all. Yeah,
awesome.
Our top goal is to make sure that you can do what you need to do without getting stopped by any of these issues, and reducing that time. Thanks.
Perfect. Well, hey, let's give it up for Kayla and Naresh and the entire success team, which the growth team is part of. Very proud to be part of the success team. So, our team truly does want to help you be successful, and we appreciate everybody's effort to get all that information to us so that we can take it and move on to the next step, because we truly do want to help resolve things the best way, efficiently and as productively as possible. So thank you very much to Kayla and Naresh for putting that together and walking us through that process. Sometimes what we see, there's a lot more that goes on in the background. So thank you everybody for joining us this week. And looking forward to next week. We're going to keep in line with our excellent communication. Be heard, be seen, and transact now. So make sure to have a look on our website with that Head Start 2021 promotion. Get into the group in the community for the Head Start 2021 and start engaging with vendors. Start developing that strategy, because this promotion is for the entire first quarter. So connect with those vendors. There's some fantastic prizes that you can earn, that you can win. So get out there, have those conversations. Thank you again for joining, and we'll see you in the community. See ya.